Now, your average Hollywood type, dabbles in politics. They talk the talk around election day, and then they get bored and, I don't know, smoke pot or whatever it is they do. My next guest, besides being one of the most successful good guy action heroes of the last few decades, is passionate about his political beliefs, and he has taken a serious role as a vocal supporter of Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. How are you?
I'm great, Glenn. Good to see you.
Chuck Norris, good to have you on.
Thank you.
You know, I emailed Mike Huckabee on the night that he won Iowa, because you were standing right behind him, and I was laying in bed, and I emailed him, and I said, congratulations, Mike, on your win, et cetera, et cetera. Good to know Chuck Norris is behind you, because I know he'll kick your ass if you ever break any of your promises.
Well, that's true. The thing is...
You will kick Mike Huckabee's ass if he breaks his promise?
Actually, truthfully, Glenn, these politicians are a lot tougher than me.
Yeah.
I mean, what they go through, speech after speech after speech, and then these debates, and if you say the wrong thing, you're going to be crucified. Yeah. My skin's not tough enough for that, you know. But I have to say, how I became a fan of yours is I was channel surfing a little over a year ago, and and all of a sudden I come to you, and I'm listening to you, and I was so impressed with your transparency and your passion about what you were talking about that I started watching you regularly. In fact, now I TiVo you, and now I got you taped, so when I'm traveling, I can go back and watch the past shows.
That's crazy. You need to hire the bar. Your standards are a little...
No, not really, Glenn. No, I really, I like the issues that you present to the people in America, and they are. You're very transparent about that.
So what is it about Mike Huckabee that made you say, because you never met him, right? You didn't know him.
No, I'd never met him. And actually, I was watching the Republican debates, and really there wasn't that much on Mike Huckabee. I mean, he got that much airtime. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, what is this guy all about? So Gene and I went on his website, started reading what he stood for, and started researching, reading men's, what's it called, hon? New Man magazine, yeah.
Okay.
New Man magazine, and so anyway, I decided that this is the man I like to back. I haven't backed anyone in 20 years, Glenn.
Yeah.
Former President Bush is the first man I've actually actively backed.
You know what? I have decided that I'm not going to back. I think if you're looking at me for an endorsement, you're a loser. You know what I mean? You got to make up your own mind. I've decided I'm not going to endorse anybody at all, because whoever it is, whoever I might vote for or say on the air, this is the guy I voted for, I'm not going to give him that much rope. I don't trust any of these weasels.
Well, the thing is, it's the least of the evils. The thing is, what sold me on Mike Huckabee, and it's something I've been against for a long time, is the tax structure in our country. I think it's been archaic for many, many years. And I think back of when I was working my way up, trying to make a living for my family. I was working at Northrop Aircraft during the day, 8 to 5, and I started teaching the martial arts at night, to supplement my income. And the more money I made, the more taxes came out of my check. And I'm thinking, this isn't fair. The harder I work, the more I'm getting penalized for it. And I said, there's got to be a better tax structure in our country. Now, of course, I'm in the top 10% of the people, so I don't have to worry. But I still think back when I was poor, and what I had to go through, and what the people today are going through. And the thing is, we've got to figure out a way to remedy this tax system in America. It's archaic, and I really believe that Mike Huckabee's onto something with this fair tax concept, because I have friends that buy their yachts and their jets, and they write them off as tax expenses, and they pay very little taxes.
But you know what? On the flip side of that, the richest Americans pay almost 60% of all of the taxes in America. Yeah, so I mean, they're paying. Well, granted, they have more money, but they are paying such a huge share. It's just got to be equalized. So it's not. So you're not penalized for growing, and you're also not. These Merrill Lynch people who just walked away with $150 million and they lost all that money. That bothers me.
It bothers me too.
But you know what? It's not the government's place to equalize this stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Warren Buffett, third richest man in the world, pays no taxes. So the thing is, if you start looking at the people who don't pay taxes,
but the government now looks at rich. I mean, you can see it with this refund. This refund for the stimulus package goes to does not go to rich people, which is $75,000 a year.
I know.
When did that become rich in America? I mean, I know people who live in New York City who scrape by on $75,000.
The thing is, after you pay taxes on $75,000, what is it? It's $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not a rich person.
So Mike Huckabee says he's not going to leave if he doesn't win in Florida. He says he's still in it for the long haul.
Yeah, because the thing is, I want to squash these rumors here. You know, Huckabee is second in delegates.
Yeah.
He's number 2, and he's leading in the polls in several states. So the thing is, it'd be foolish for him to bow out now.
Okay.
The thing is, I think his message, you know, because the thing is,
if he does, will you sign a picture from you that says, Glenn Beck kicked my butt, and I'll never screw with him again? Chuck.
You're too young. I'm old enough to be your dad. I'll spank you, boy.
We're gonna do, if you don't mind hanging around, we want to do a podcast with you because we're out of time now, but we'll do something so we have it on the internet. Chuck Norris, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Sir.
Pleasure.
All right. Well.